Ladies and gentlemen, the next voice you hear will be that of Chaplain Dennis Keith Hale, and he will be stepping to the microphone in just 1 minute. The name of this show is The Spiritual Side of Cannabis. Now it looks like we're all set. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. You've read about him, you've heard all the rumors, but now here he is live and in person, and at this time, allow me to present the chaplain of the Lighter Than Air Ministries, Chaplain Dennis Keith Hale.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Chaplain Dennis Keith Hale. We're here in the Music Sanctuary after a beautiful day of invoking the spirit and the power of music. Get in touch with us if we can help you. Go to our website, please. I'm going to have a chance to stretch out a little bit tonight as part of our smoke ring stories. So listen and learn. Thank you so much for joining us here on our show, The Spiritual Side of Cannabis. Ray Charles.
Sad and lonely all the time. That's because I've got a worried mind. You know the world is in an uproar. The danger zone is everywhere. Everywhere. Just read your paper and you see just exactly what keeps worrying me. Yeah, you see the world is in an uproar. The danger zone is everywhere. My love for the world is like always, for the world is a part of me. That's why I'm so afraid of the progress that's been made toward eternity. Every morning, noon and night finds me hoping that everything's alright. The world is in an uproar. The danger zone is everywhere.
Danger Zone, ladies and gentlemen. Ray Charles, the man who wrote that Percy Mayfield, the Pencil Man. A good guy I got to know a little bit. And he told me there was danger zones everywhere. The highway's like a woman, soft shoulders and dangerous curbs. I ain't lying, you'd say. He said a lot of things, but danger zones. Ladies and gentlemen, this ministry is not a Christian ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, this ministry is a ministry unlike any other in the entire world. Because, of course, we believe in the power of music, for it is real. Behold the power of music. And when you pair the power of music with marijuana. Yes, marijuana, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I speak a lot about this every week. And each week, more people come to listen as to what we offer. We offer you a way to prioritize your life. We offer you a way to make a way for yourself. Marijuana has been following us, evolving along with us, and it's allowed itself to be changed and modified. And we think that's pretty good, because those of us who use it as medicine, well, we've been enjoying so many benefits. All the years I smoked marijuana, I want to tell you, I've received this information from so many of the people that we've helped, is that it's different when you're sick. I guess it's sort of like amphetamines for kids who are hyperactive. God, I can't believe they did that. But this is a program that we have, and it works. Anyways, enough about that today. Danger zones is our topic, and I've been in so many of them. I was almost killed in Texas. Years back, I was working for a circus. I did a nice piece about that called Ponderous Pachyderms. You can find that on our Spreaker network. But one day, it was hot, and we had worked all day, and often this circus would put into a shopping center and set up on the parking lot. We had a very large tent at the time, and that necessitated, though, driving stakes through the asphalt. And the heat, when you would drive the stakes, was your friend. But when you tried to get them out, it was a different story. And they had these Mustangs, these little, carts to haul them out. Well, I got off on the wrong foot with this guy who was working for the circus, and he had just been given a managerial job, he thought, after being there for a couple weeks. And I didn't have much to do with him until we moved the show every night or every week. And him and I became not friendly. And he had a number of dogs who traveled with him, pets, not show dogs. And this guy, he was quite a piece of work. He was a real redneck fella. And it was 100 degrees one day. And I was young and I was working hard. But I was really perspiring. And I went back to my house trailer, and I was living in a little house trailer with my girlfriend and my brother. And this little house trailer was only 20 feet long. And when it got hot, it was literally like an oven. And in a 100-degree day, sitting out on the asphalt in Texas. This is the same place where a week before, I was still in Texas. We played a lot of places in Texas, where I drove off the road because someone gestured that something was wrong with my vehicle, but we stopped. We never saw anything. But as I drove off the road into what looked like a pullout, it was nice greenery. Well, that greenery contained the biggest thorns you ever saw in your life. And I punctured 2 tires on my right-hand side. And that house trailer went all but Jiminy everywhere. And that was where a week later we were out running a tornado in Texas. That's another story. But it was 100 degrees. And I went back to that trailer and I went inside, and I was actually going to have a little puff. I had been a good boy and worked hard. I wanted to reward myself. But we didn't want to advertise either, so we kept the windows closed. There was no place else to go. And this was Texas. And this was big time. I could have done a year for that puff. But here I was. So we had this little cubicle of ours closed up tight. And we didn't have an air conditioner. We had a couple fans, but well, I went in, took a puff, and it was overwhelming. And I went outside, and in the shade of the trailer itself, which was this little sliver along the side, I was there and I saw a dog. I saw this dog on a long chain. It was like a boxer. And I saw it on this long chain, and I couldn't believe it. I hadn't seen the dog before, really. I think I'd heard it many times coming from this trailer. This trailer belonged to this new guy that I didn't get along with too well, who was in charge of trucks, driving trucks around, getting us down the road. And he had a woman living with him who was the epitome of southern circus folk. I believe she was actually from circus folk, and he claimed to have been. I was never of circus folk. I was merely on the periphery of their world, but there was a world there. Well, stop beating around the bush. I looked over, it was 100 degrees, and that dog did not have any water. I looked all around as long as that tether. I went over, and he was a pretty friendly dog. I petted him a little bit, but he started shivering at 100 degrees, and I knew something bad was going down. I couldn't find any water anywhere. So I went in and poured him some water and brought out a bowl, and boy, did he drink it. I filled it up 3 times. And I was walking away the 3rd time I filled it up, and someone grabbed the back of my collar and my shirt, came up behind me as I was bending over, coming up from the dog bowl being set down, and yanked my jacket, my shirt, up over my head and pulled me backwards, and I heard the click in my ear of a weapon. And a man saying, "Don't you ever fuck with my dog. This is Texas." And I felt his hands were trembling, and this gun was still up behind my ear. And suddenly, I heard another weapon click. I thought, oh shit. And I heard my brother's voice, and it said, "You're a dead man right now if you don't pull that out of his ear." And there was my brother sitting there with a pistol, which he borrowed from someone else. And this guy, I thought we were going to have a shootout right there. He said, "Well, don't you ever fuck with my dog again." I was disciplining him. I wanted to horsewhip the guy right there. I didn't have a horsewhip, however. There was this nut who used to work around the lot with a horsewhip on his belt, leather, like you'd carry on a utility belt if you were Batman. Ladies and gentlemen, as we watch the smoke rings we go by, I want to remind you that this ministry is a ministry like no other. There's nothing like this in the world. The power of music, we all know about that. But this perfect pairing, this matching up of marijuana and music, ladies and gentlemen, it is sacred. It really is. Music, it starts when we're born with our mom's heartbeat until our very last heartbeat. And in the middle we fill in all this really neat stuff. And then it comes back to haunt us sometimes. Sometimes it comes back to give us a wonderful memory. You know, Simon and Garfunkel said, preserve your memories. That's all that's left you. And we want to do that. That's why I'm working on this new project. We have the ministry working towards the first time, my first time, so that your first time getting high, your first introduction to marijuana is a successful thing. We want you to be successful. We want you to have a great introduction to a tonic, an elixir, something which has been put on earth for us. I hope that you'll, if you're considering smoking marijuana, and I know that when it's legal, the first year it's legalized, just the first week, you're expecting 300,000 people to try it for the very first time in California. Some estimates are 1 million people lighting up for the very first time. But a sustained 15,000 people a day. 15,000 people a day are going to try marijuana for the very first time. And I don't know if there's a plan to help them. I don't know if there's a plan to make it a good time for them. But we have a plan, ladies and gentlemen. We have a plan. And it's really beautiful. And it's something that you'll remember your whole life. My first time. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, this ministry reminds you, if we can help you in any way, contact us through our website. We're still very much involved with the 7-Minute Miracle, the Take a Puff, Not a Pill. Very successful programs for our ministry. So as here I close, I say to you, may you enjoy mercy as you live, and may you go with grace. Chaplain Hale saying thank you for listening. Good night.